Most beginner entrepreneurs ruin the sales call before they even begin. And it's not because they suck at selling, it's because they sound like robots. You've probably felt it. Sales script open in the background of your desktop as you're fumbling around the Zoom call, trying to get back onto the main link while you're reading blanket offer script, feeling like you've just entered the Wolf of Wall Street selling pit. And the person on the other end completely checked out. They've barely spoken the entire phone call because you're just yapping about your product and staying to the script because, my goodness, if you went off the script, all hell would break loose. Ask yourself, have you ever followed the script so closely that you forgot to be a human being? Palms sweaty, heart racing, but you forgot to even ask them where they're joining from, their name, how their day's been. These basic interactions that if you met this person in the street, that is how you would open the conversation. I'll show you the exact mindset shift and framework that allowed me to close sales calls easily, confidently, without being pushy, and without manipulative sales techniques. After doing over 8 million in sales in the last 2 years, I can confidently say not only does this work for me, it works for my clients and for my team. This is the same framework that's helped my clients inside Amplify close countless deals, like Max, who went from selling his fitness programs for $500 to $5,000 using this simple framework. And the 25 clients, are they like high ticket? What sort of range?
Yeah, so I'd say the first 5, kind of like similar to your story. I'm like, just want to get the testimonials, like first couple people in the door. One guy was like 175 USD, another guy was 500. So small ticket, first 5. Then I'm like, let me test my ability. Let's test these Hormozy skills. Let's get it going. So immediately jumped it up. It was like the low ticket was around 750, mid ticket was 1500, high ticket around 3000. A lot of people were going for that mid ticket, my total rebuild program. So started to get some proof. Some people were going for it. I'm like, all right, let's test this. Let's raise it up a notch. So got it up to 2500. My masterclass program's at 5,000 now. So in the beginning, like I said, 175 to 500 range. Ever since then, 750 to 5,000.
That's epic, man. Yeah. By the end of this call, you'll know exactly how to structure your sales calls, how to make them feel more conversational rather than underprepared keynote speech, and turn everyone into a high converting marketing content engine using AI transcripts and minimal effort. Let's get going. Now, most people on sales calls feel scripted, it feels rehearsed, and it just, quite frankly, feels robotic. They're way over their head in stupid sales tactics like NLP, using all this complex terminology and psychological frameworks that, quite frankly, they don't really understand. They're trying to use hypnosis, and they're like a level 1 hypnosis going into a level 10 battlefield. The problem is all of these are great in theory, but unless you spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours to master these techniques, they just come off robotic, a little bit weird, and super obvious to anyone who's being sold to. These make you more nervous because either they haven't worked in the past or you're just worried about the whole thing being awkward and weird. I recommend sticking with something simple. Try not to overcomplicate it and try not to go down into these deep persuasion level techniques. For most people, they just need to be a genuine person. People will buy from you if they like you and they trust you. Too many people are over-optimized and under-humanized on sales calls. Just be yourself. Find connection and relation with this person and build trust and rapport. The opening portion should just be about building trust, not sifting through his inner psyche and seeing where he is psychologically and if he's in a state of flight or fight. All of this doesn't matter if you can't just connect with this person on a human to human level. For most people, this creates resistance and a level of skepticism. This means they won't buy from you because inherently they know that they're being sold to and they just won't trust you. Sales is the cornerstone to any business. And if you're charging at value or at a high price, you need a sales call in between that lead becoming a client. This is where marketing bridges fulfillment. The sales sits in the middle. Although it may feel like sales is a skill that you just want to avoid and outsource, you won't be able to attract top closing talent unless you're hitting at least $50,000 a month, if not $80,000. The reason being is that the top closers out there aren't going to come and work on an offer for 10% and earn any less than $5,000 to $8,000 a month. Top closing talent will be too busy closing on top deals where they can earn $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month. Also, as more videos like this rise and people are assessing psychology and providing more and more sales script and techniques, buyers are getting smarter. They're no longer going to fall from scarcity or urgency as ways to get them to buy. You need proper human connection and a basic framework that you can fall back on and apply in any area of your life. You know that you're losing revenue if you start killing the relationship before it even starts. I want you to think about these sales calls the same way that you think about a luxury store versus a market stall. On the market stall side, where they're selling cheap knockoffs, you have someone who's pushy, who's chasing you down the street, holding up the products and saying, hey, buy from me, come look at my store, come look at my products. They're pulling you in and constantly pulling you back into the market stall. And and it feels pushy, it feels very salesy, and it repels you. It creates a lot of resistance in the sales process. This is compared to the luxury store. If you've ever been in a designer store, it's wait in line. We'll get to you when we're ready. You have to be part of the in-group. There's a level of exclusivity brought around it. They don't care if you buy or not. There's no urgency, there's no scarcity, and there's no pushy sales techniques. If your offer is premium, you need to make sure it feels premium. Your sales call is the front line, and if it's not a premium feeling on that call, like, hey, this is exclusive, you want to be part of us more than we want you to be a part of us, that is how it needs to feel. Adopt that frame of thinking. You're a luxury designer store. You do not need this person to buy from you. If they buy from you, great. It's good, but it's not the end of the world if they don't. You're not a market stall that is scrabbing to make ends meet for the day. People can sense the desperation. You need to adopt this premium mindset of you do not care if they are a client or not. You just want to match your solution to their problem. Now let's get into the framework. So this framework is incredibly simple and easy to digest. It is the PPFCP framework. That is past, present, future, cost of inaction, partnership. First, we start with past. Now, the most important thing in a sales call is to understand the past. This should feel like a general conversation. When someone enters into my sales call, the first thing I want to answer is, hey, thanks so much for joining. Remind me, whereabouts are you joining from today? Oh, great. Wherever that is in the world, make a comment. What season is it? Oh, so it must be coming into summertime now. Oh, it must be winter. Is it cold there? I've never been. Or if you have been, fantastic. Oh, I've actually been. Small little city outside. Yeah, I remember. I went to this amazing coffee shop there. It was beautiful. Are you near that coffee shop? Oh, okay. Very interesting. Make it conversation. Open up. Once we've done this, we want to dive into their past. Now, an important thing about sales is once you have opened up and opened the conversation, you want to establish a little bit about them and set out the framework for today. I recommend opening with this phrase. I want to be respectful of your time, so I want to make sure you have the full 45 minutes. Today, we're just going to run through a little about your past, why you're here today, and then what you want to achieve over the next 3, 6, and 12 months. Is that okay with you? Yes. At the end of the call, I'd love to get a decision, whether you're in or whether you're out. That's it. Are you happy to give me that decision? Yes. Once we've got the double confirmation, and if we feel like there may be a possibility that this person's young or relies on a spouse for income, we can also ask, just to be sure, are you the only person that needs to be here to make that decision? If they say yes, fantastic. If they say no, understand who is the key decision maker and get them on call as well. It's going to save you a lot of time and energy going through the entire sales process just to find out that, oh, the partner makes a decision, or, oh, the parents need to get involved. Whatever it is, bring them on call to make sure you can run through it together. Once you begin, you want to start with P. This is past. This is about understanding their past. It's about diving into all the things that they have done that haven't worked in the past. You want to understand how long they've been tackling this problem for and what hasn't worked in the past. The reason we do this is that understanding someone's past is going to give you a measurement on how much pain they have experienced and for how long for. As an example, an 18-year-old who just wants to get in shape for summer and has been training for a month and summer is coming around the corner in 3 months is experiencing a hell of a lot less pain than a 50-year-old who's had serious health problems for the last 5 to 10 years and his doctor has just told him that if he does not fix this in the coming months, it is going to result in serious health implications. Unpacking someone's past and establishing how much pain they've experienced is the crucial first step. The reason we do this as well is it forces you to ask them questions and to listen. Remember that your job on this call is to be a detective. You are listening to all the problems and you should be writing these down as well. Once we have discovered a little bit about their past and understanding what went wrong, why it didn't work, you want to write down again all the things that they are doing today. And you want to ask them, so why are you on call today? Understanding why they are on call today and what isn't working today is the crucial next step under present. The present is about understanding what is not working today. The more we can discover what's not working today, the more we can understand about how we can best fit our solutions to their problem. Next, we go to future. What's happening in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? Understanding what's going to happen in the future and where they would like to get to is crucial. This is about their desired end state. Remember, they are going to give you surface level answers. They're going to say that they want to get in better shape, that they want to look better. We need to unpack why. Asking the double why is a fundamental of any sales call. Everyone gives a surface level answer, so we need to ask why twice. Why do you want to get in better shape? Well, I'd like to get in better shape because that means that maybe when I go to the beach, I'll be more comfortable taking my shirt off. Why is taking your shirt off important? Well, when I go to the beach right now, I'm with a group of friends and I don't feel comfortable taking my shirt off and they all poke fun at me. How long have they poked fun at you for? Well, it's always sort of happened ever since I was a kid. I was always a chubby kid. I never lost it. when I was in my teens, unlike my friends. And as a result, I've never really felt comfortable about my body image. Wow, that must be really tough. Has that impacted your life in any other way? Well, it's meant that it's been harder to find a partner because while my friends are taking their top off at the beach, I'm keeping my top on and I'm just not as comfortable to run around and play sport. So I just don't feel as comfortable in my own skin. That is about unpacking someone's real motive to getting in shape. And discovering that on a sales call makes it a lot easier to connect our solution to their problems. Just getting someone in better shape is such a surface level answer. We want to understand their deeper motives of why they want to get in shape. The sooner we can connect that, the better we can serve this client because we understand the pain that they are experiencing today. This may allow you to bring up an existing client testimonial who you helped go through the same set of confidence issues when they first came on. Understanding the root cause of their pain is far more important than just the surface level. Remember to always ask the double why. Next, we want to establish the cost of inaction. In the process of establishing where they would like to get to and asking the double why, we also want to attribute some sort of cost. If they do not get there in 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, what is the cost? What is the cost physically, emotionally, financially? Establishing some level of cost to benchmark that if they do not go ahead, there is some implicit cost. Most people will start to view your offer versus a benchmark of $0. That makes your $2,000 offer seem incredibly expensive versus $0. But once we establish that actually by not going through with the offer, they're losing out in other parts of their life, may that be physically, emotionally, or financially, that means that we can also attribute a cost to not going through with the program. This is incredibly important. Often in life, we pay two costs. One upfront for going through with something, and one later in life for not going through with something. By saying no to something, you're saying yes to something else that could potentially be more costly. Lastly, and only lastly, once we've gone through and asked them repeatedly, double whys, and really understood the core of their past, what hasn't worked, the present, what's not working today, where they would like to get to, and what it will cost them if they don't get there, can we present our offer? The last P is partnership. This is where we can offer, and only if it's a good fit, the potential to partnership. We should present our offer simply and cleanly using a pricing card. We can present them a 3-tiered option. This means that we can have a high VIP packaged option with more proximity, a mid-tier, which we will push them towards, and a bottom tier with less of your time. This means across 3 offers, they have a very clear indication of your pricing, and you can anchor your pricing against your lowest or your highest tier, making it more desirable to go to the middle package. It's incredibly important that once you bring up the pricing card and show them that you pause. Always enter with the first and highest package. This will allow you to anchor your pricing against this package. Pause after you present the option. Often, they will opt for the lower 2nd-tier package. With the clients I use inside Amplify, this 2nd-tier package is normally priced at 5 to 10x what they're used to charging. And they are often astounded when people go for this package. Max, for example, was presenting his 5,000 package offer in the back of his mind thinking there's no way this person's going to go for it. And he didn't even pause before he started going into his 2nd-tier package saying, but this package is probably when he got cut off and he said, I'll go for the top tier package.
My masterclass program's at 5,000 now. I've had one taker on that, which caught me off guard, honestly. I'm like, hey, listen, my masterclass, I don't know if it's right for you, but it's a 6-month program. And listen, the program that's more catered to you. Oh yeah, no, that sounds good. Oh, let me just shut my mouth, actually.
This happens to people when you present the offers. There's a small subset of people that will just always go for the premium offer. That's just part of their personality type and they're all in. And that's great. When they go for that, it boosts the LTV of that customer. The middle tier package has been anchored by that high package price, so now seems far more reasonable. This is the value of tier pricing in a pricing card. The pause is one of the most important steps in this entire process. So many people get nervous when they present their pricing and they just continue yapping. If you have to, mute yourself, bite the inside of your lip, do whatever it takes to pause after you present your pricing. This is the make or break moment. It will be awkward. There will be a delayed silence between you both, but you need to stay quiet. This pause is what allows them to think about the options and puts them in a position to actually make a decision. Outside of using this framework, a couple important things to note. Always come prepared to your sales call. Don't rush into it. Provide 5 to 10 minutes before to get in a good state of mind. Listen to music, do whatever you need to get in the right frame. Life favors the prepared. Bring a pad and pencil to make sure that you can write down any notes. You want to reiterate the key pain points and the key goals as they go through. When you present your offer, you should say a statement like, I can understand that there'd be a big emotional weight and potentially bridge with your partner if you don't get in great shape before your wedding. How about I put together a plan over the next 3 months to ensure that you are in your best shape for your wedding and are both physically and mentally capable to show up for your partner. And I do this in a way that's sustainable and won't put you down this yo-yo dieting like you've tried in the past. Something that's sustainable and achievable. I can put together a 3-month package that is simple and easy to follow. How does that sound? Yes or no? Present the offer like this and then get the confirmation before you open up the pricing. Once you have the confirmation, they have already willingly said yes to the transformation. Once they have the transformation, the pricing comes second. Because if the pain is big enough, they are always going to be willing to pay. Some extra tips to make sure that your sales process is more dialed and more efficient. Make sure that you bring in an AI note taker like Fathom or TLDV. Using Fathom or TLDV means that you'll automatically record your sales calls. This means you can review the sales calls you previously had and make adjustments on the way that you present the offer and audit your own sales calls. This is a process we do inside Amplify, and we have a dedicated channel for people to submit their sales calls so we can review them as a team. Sales calls also present objections. These objections can be used in your marketing, and objections should always be tackled at the beginning of a sales call. A common objection is around a partner or significant other being the key decision maker in the relationship. As a result, that's why I always ask at the beginning of the call, are they the only decision maker that needs to be consulted? Beyond just solving for these objections on the call, you can also weave these objections into your marketing copy. These could be things like FAQs on your landing page. They could also be presented into content so that throughout the entire funnel, we are handling these objections ahead of time. Selling this way is incredibly important. Firstly, because it is ethical. Ethical selling builds long-term clients instead of buyer's remorse after a sales call. Buyer's remorse is that once they've gone through a sales call and they purchased, that they then suddenly hold a whole lot of remorse for purchasing. This only happens when you use manipulative or persuasive techniques that puts the buyer in a certain state or trance, and then when they leave that call, they empty out of that trance and feel like they've been manipulated to purchase. This will not build you long-term clients. This is a very short-term approach and will work for a quick cash grab, will have negative impacts on your reputation and your brand long-term. Reviewing sales calls as you go gives you clarity and marketing insights. Staying close to what's happening on the front line, aka on the sales calls, is going to make you a better marketer. Adopting these will eliminate all buyer's remorse because they will remain in control at all times. They'll be understood, they'll be heard, and you will have connected your service, which provides the right solution to their problems. This is the all-time framework that you can come back to for any sales or selling situation. If you want to learn all of my other frameworks across marketing, sales, and fulfillment, then grab a copy of my coach's playbook. I'll leave a link in the bio, and you can grab it for just $29 today.